Youth violence is an increasingly worrying problem. These are violent acts committed by young people who are not viewed as fully mature.
Your youth violence can take many forms, including bullying, harassment, gang violence, gun use, and hate crimes. So what are causing young people to act so aggressively?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Focus. Here in Focus, we discuss the latest issues concerning people all around the world.
Yeah, today we will discuss cases pertaining youth violence and the main causes discussed by the scholars and researchers.
Erin Cafe, 16 years old. Parents did not allow her to go out on a date, so Erin offered to pay $2,000 to her boyfriend and friend in exchange of her family's murder. Erin enjoyed the rest of her night having sex with her boyfriend. Joshua Smith, 14 years old, hung with the local thugs and was stopped by his mother, returned the favor by shooting her several times with a shotgun while she was sleeping. 15-year-old girl shoots father with a hunting bow. Having her phone confiscated, she shot her father and made him crawl to a vehicle and drive to the nearest neighbor because she did not allow him to use his phone to call 911. Nehemiah Grigor, 15-year-old, killed his mother because she annoyed him. He proceeded to show the cops to his brother who started crying and then killed him as well. He then continued his spree and killed his two sisters and father. Juan, over to you.
Here in Malaysia, several examples demonstrate teen bullying in school. So here's the first one. In 5 years, there were 3 students reported forcing a schoolmate to cut off own tongue if he doesn't want to get beaten up. Another one, a student from one of the schools in Pahang faces a risk of paralysis of his entire life after being kicked in the back into a closet by a group of Form 5 and Form 3 students. And the last one is there is also the case of a secondary in Batu Pahang who lost his kidney and spleen, suffered damage to his liver and gallbladder after being beaten by a group of senior students. So these are only the homicide and bully cases. There are other examples of youth violence involving drugs, harassment, and so on.
The American Psychological Association has highlighted main causes to youth violence. The easy availability of guns. While this is a concern in other countries, only in America are the weapons easily available in quantity. It has been reported that guns as well as drugs can be anonymously bought from the dark web.
Selling drugs to strangers online is one thing, but spending time browsing through the deep web, there's plenty other worrying stuff out there. Some of it, of course, is obviously fake. There are sites advertising hitmen for hire, contract killers for exorbitant rates who will take out your target of choice. However, another proposition which seems far more credible and perhaps even more worrying is the offer of any kind of gun you want, from semi-automatic handguns to fully automatic Uzis and assault rifles.
The breakdown of the family. Rising divorce rates and the blending of families make it more difficult for children to have good role models for conflict resolution. So children learn from what they observe, not what they hear.
Violence portrayed by media. How many murders have you witnessed this week in movies? How many thugs have you seen in music videos? How many songs are advocating gang violence and drug use? Violence adds excitement and increased ratings, but it also demonstrates behaviors that teenagers like to imitate.
The absence of a moral compass. In past generations, important influences were present, like attending religious activities and participating in movements that induce moral values. While these influences are still here, they are not a part of the lives of our youth.
Busy parents. With both parents working, children have a much greater amount of unsupervised time than in the past, and good upbringing is absent. Decreased parental involvement and supervision allows violence to spark and go unnoticed.
The collapse of neighborhoods and communities. These days, people do not socialize with members of the community. Teenagers who feel connected with others in the community are less likely to act out their anger in destructive ways.
The tendency for teens to form groups and cliques. Our youths today, especially those in school, look at other cliques as threats instead of just another existing type of people. They make rules, and when these rules are broken, fights and violence erupt.
Teen rebellion, getting out of hand. As a parent, it is often difficult to know when rebellion is normal and healthy and when it has gotten out of hand. When the lines of communication between parent and child are closed, it makes aiding them during this phase difficult and impossible. Alright, Sabrina, so what do you think about this youth violence? Do you think it's caused by the psychology disorder, or is actually the teenagers wanting to have more attention from people?
I think, in my opinion, I think it's both. I think some of these teenagers have this psychological disorder or depression, and this is the way they actually express their feelings, their depression through violence that's causing all these crime rates to increase. And also, it could be they just wanting attention. Let's look at the Elliot Rogers case. It is about a young boy who wanted attention, did not get this attention, and he lashed it out on murdering young women because of the lack of attention. So I think mainly if these kids will actually look into it, given more attention in a more right and appropriate way, I think these crime rates could be decreased.
Yeah, as you say, it's correct.
What do you think? I mean, what could be the solution to this crime, this very crucial thing that's actually happening in this country?
Yeah, I think first the parents that play a very important role, to be present in the upbringing of the teenagers, and then also about the depression that you have just mentioned. I think the teenager that have the depression disorder that should be treated by a professional. Yeah,
Yes, maybe they can actually see a psychologist,
yeah.
get therapy.
So the
Yes.
parents, yeah, and also their friends, the peer, and the school. These are all the parts that should be playing and
Yes.
all work together in
I think
solving
that
this
that's
problem.
absolutely right. Okay, that's all from us in Focus today.
Yeah, so tune in next week for more updates of 2016 America's election. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there! We hope you enjoyed today's episode. To read more on today's issue, head down to these websites and articles where we retrieved our information.
I don't have a personal makeup artist, so
Macam makin buruk je.
kurang ajar.
Behind the scenes of Focus.
That's our newspaper.
Fancy.
And this is our flower pot.
Dia kot.
There is also the case of what is it? How to pronounce that? Plea.
Where?
Right. I think that is all for us from Focus.
mean next week? Do you mean next week? Where we discuss? No, we have to start the whole sentence.
Yeah,
God.
start.